observed students the different types of plants near your home, in the school ground, on the way to the school, in parks and in the garden. So there are different places where you have observed the different types of plants. So plants can be classified as trees, shrubs and herbs. So we can classify the plants into three categories. The first one is trees. So these plants are very big in size. So as you have seen, there are different plants which are very tall, and these are having very hard and thick stems. So those type of plants which are very tall in height, which are very big in size, and they have hard thick stem, those type of plants are considered as trees. The examples of trees are banyan tree, mango, neem, peepal and coconut tree. You can see here in the diagram, this is a banyan tree, the coconut tree and the peepal tree. So these are the first category, that is trees. Let's move on to the next, that is shrubs. So shrubs are very small bushy plants. Okay, they have large branches and they are very small in height. These plants have the stem branching out near to the ground. So their branching of the stems are very much near to the ground. Examples are rose plants, that is very common, you might have seen that, tulsi, that is basil, henna and cotton plants. So these plants which are having these are very small and bushy plants, so these are called as shrubs. The next type of plants are the herbs. These plants are smaller than the shrubs. So those plants which are even smaller than the shrubs, those are called as herb plants. So these plants have green and delicate stems. So what is the characteristics of their stem? Their stem is very often green in color and they are very delicate. The examples are rice, tomato and spinach. So these type of plants which are smaller than the shrubs will be considered as herbs. Let's move on to next plant. The plants which there are plants which grows in different places. So there are certain type of plants which grows in a specific environment. So first of all, there are trees which can grow on the mountains. Okay, those trees can be only found in the cold environment. They require cold temperature, cold environment to grow. So those type of plants which grows only in the mountain, example of them are the fir trees and the pine trees. So these two type of trees can be found only on the mountain area. The next type of plant is the plants which grows in water. There are certain plants which can grow on land, certain plants which can grow in water. So as we discussed, the plants which are growing in water, example is water lily and lotus. So this is a national flower also of our country. So you might have observed these plants generally grow in water. Next is the trees which are growing in hot places near the sea. So there are certain type of trees which can grow in a hot place. They require hot place near, and they are found near a sea or an ocean. So these type of plants, example is your coconut tree. You can see here in the diagram, this is the sea area and this is the sandy layer. This is the hot place near the sea. These are the coconut tree. Next is the trees which are growing in warm places. There are certain type of trees which require warm environment to grow. For example, that is very common, the mango tree, the neem tree, the banyan tree. There are various other examples also. So we will consider mango tree and the neem tree which require warm places to grow. Next is there are certain plants which can grow in hot desert. These plants require very less amount of water. So as we have discussed, water is the basic necessity for survival. So there are certain plants which require very less or little amount of water and it grows in hot desert. So which plant grows in the hot desert? The cactus plant. So this cactus plant can be of different varieties. They can be of various shape, but all these belongs to the cactus and they grow in the desert. Next is the plants are also having leaves. So leaves of the plant. So the plants have leaves. Their leaves are of different shape and sizes. So the shape and size of the leaf also vary. Some of them can be round, as you can see. Some of them can be round. Some of them are long. Some are of triangular shape. You can see like a triangular shape. So it has different shape and sizes. Some are having straight margins. Okay, that margin. This is the margin part. That is the outer part. So this margin is having these leaves are having straight margin. Some of them are having uneven margin. As you can see here, this leaf is having uneven margin. So So they can be classified based on that. So most of the leaves, as you can see here in the diagram, most of the leaves are of which color, student? Most of the leaves are of green color. But some of the leaves can be of yellow color, red or purple color. As you can see here, this type of leaf is of red color. So why the leaf are mostly of green color? Because of the presence of a pigment which is called chlorophyll, that you will learn in detail in higher classes. So that is the reason why the color of the most of the leaves are green, because of the presence of the pigment called chlorophyll. So the leaves prepare the food for the plant. So which part of the plant is going to prepare the food for the whole plant? So it is the leaf which is going to prepare the food. That is why the leaves are called as the kitchen of the plant, because where we cook the food, that is called the kitchen, and similarly in the plants the leaves are going to prepare the food. So that is why they are called as the kitchen of the plant. Nextly, there are plants which provide us many useful things. So plants are very important, plays very important part in our life. They provide us multiple things, like they provide us cereals and pulses. The plants provide us fruits and different vegetables. They provide us wood to make furnitures like door, table, chair, bed, etc. The plants also provide us oil and medicine. The plants provide us tea, and they also provide us cotton. So these are the various uses of the plants. Next is, we are going to discuss the exercise part here. First question is multiple choice question. First is, tall and strong plants are called dash. So tall and strong plants are called shrub, herb or trees. So the tall plant, as I've discussed, they are called as trees. Next is, the cactus plants grows in. So it has a very specific environment in which it grows. So cactus grows in mountain, warm place or desert. So cactus grows in desert area. Next is, fill in the blanks. Fir and pine tree grows on dash. So fir and pine tree require cold environment for its growth. So where you can find that? On the mountains. Next is, the water lily plant grows in. As the name suggests, water lily will grow in the water. Next is, dash grows in hot desert. Hot desert plant. Which plant grows there? Cactus. Then most leaves are dash in color. So as I told you, most of the leaves are of green color, but you can see leaves of other color also, but most of them are of green color. Next is, circle the odd one out, give the reason for your answer. So three words are very common and one will be different. We have to circle the odd one out. Banyan tree, neem, mountain and coconut. So as you can see, the banyan, neem and coconut, these are all three types of trees. Mountain is the odd one out. Next is chair, shrub, creepers and herbs. So there are different types. We can categorize the plants into herb, shrub, trees, as well as into creepers and climbers. Those two categories you will learn in higher classes. So as for now, chair, shrub, creepers and herbs. So these are types of plant, that is shrub, creeper and herb. What is the odd one out? A chair is the odd one out. Next is coconut, desert, neem and mango. See, so you can see here, coconut, neem and mangoes are the different types of trees, whereas desert is the odd one out. Next is, write the name of the picture in the space provided. The picture is depicted here. We have to identify the picture. The first one, as you can see, is a cactus which grows in the desert. Next is coconut. It grows in the warm environment near the sea. Next is cotton. The other one is the rose, which is very common. You might have seen it in different colors. Next is, join the dots and you have to write the correct name below that. These are different leaves of different plants. First one is the people tree, this leaf, and the next one is papaya tree leaf, and the last one you can see, it is a flat leaf which is of a mango tree. So this is the first section of our exercise. Let's move on to the next. Next is multiple choice question here. Firstly, the rice plant is a dash, a herb, shrub or a creeper. So rice plants are having very delicate, these are having very delicate and green stem. These are herb plants. Next is, dash are called the kitchen of the plant. So kitchen of the plant, where the plant is going to prepare the food. So that plant is root, stem or leaf. So the right answer is leaves. Leaves are green in color and they are going to prepare the food, and that is why Name a plant which grows in hot desert. As we have discussed, the plant which which grows in hot desert is cactus. Next is, where is water lily found? So water lily and lotus grows in water. Next is short answer type. You have to name the plant which grows there. So on mountain, the pine tree grows on the mountain. Next is near the seashore. So it requires warm environment. Which is that plant? Coconut plant. Next is in water. Water lily or lotus, it grows in water. Next is in desert. Cactus plants grows in desert. The last type is long answer question. Here you have to name two plants. Firstly, tree. So a mango tree, a neem tree is an example of trees. Next is your shrubs. So shrubs can be your the cotton plant and the rose. Next is herbs. Herbs are very small in size and they are shorter than, they are smaller than the shrub. So example is your mint, spinach, etc. Next is, we all know that trees are necessary for the survival of our living beings. As I have discussed that trees, plants are very important because they provide us various useful things. But still we are not taking care of them. What step will you take to protect them? So students, what you can do in order to protect and take care of the trees, you can make people aware about the various advantage of the plants and trees. You can make them do plantation work. Okay, you can plant more and more trees in your surrounding. That will be beneficial for us. So by this we have covered our fourth chapter, that is plants around us. We'll meet in the next video. Till then, take care. Thank you.